Well, a very good afternoon to you all, or good morning to some of you, because I know some of you are actually listening from overseas. This is Natalie Ashdown here with you from Open Door Coaching, and welcome to our coaching cafe for today. Today, we're talking about taking our coaching conversations to the next level. So I'm going to really enjoy working with you just for this next quick half an hour and really thinking about how we can take our conversations to the next level. So, as always, let me do the acknowledgement of country. And I always like to ground myself and into our coaching cafes because we're meeting from all around Australia and internationally as well. And you might be listening to this at home or from your workplace or from your home. So, wherever you are listening to this, either live or later, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners and the custodians on the lands on which we all meet today and their continuing connection to the land, waters, and communities of Australia. We pay our respects to them and to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and anyone from an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent who might be with us here today. So if you are here because you are loving the coaching cafes, that's wonderful. Some of you will also be here because you're collecting your ICF CCEUs. And as always, you can simply send a message to us at support at Open Door Coaching and we will look after that for you. So our quick agenda for today, yes, that's me. I normally have my professional photo up, but that's me in full Zoom mode with all the flip charts and gorgeous stuff from our Certificate 4 in Workplace and Business Coaching behind me. And it's been a really great opportunity to really connect with people through the Certificate 4, really help everyone with their coaching skills and do that in full Zoom mode as well. But today, here in our coaching cafes, we're going to be focusing on the 5 levels of coaching conversations. And together, with our little link that I just popped into the chat box, we're going to be generating coaching questions together, which we always do on our coaching cafe. But if you can hear the excitement in my voice, I'm going to introduce you to a new little tool, which I think is so cool, so simple and so cool. And we'll use that tool today to actually generate our coaching questions. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you are new to the Coaching Cafe, welcome. We come together every Friday. Some of us come together and listen to the webinar later, but we're all about creating a community, creating a shared learning experience where we can have thought-provoking conversations, where we can really dig into coaching tools, coaching ideas, where we can really share our wealth of knowledge and experience. And all of us are here to learn, and we're all here to pursue our professional development as coaches together. I think this is the 30th webinar we've delivered this year. So week on week, we just love, I love personally coming here and joining you during this professional development time. And as always, welcome back to all our regulars. I just love Friday afternoons at this time where we get to connect with each other. So thank you for joining me. As I mentioned, if you are collecting ICF CCEs, they are offered free of charge. It's something we do, we give back to the industry, and you can simply contact us at support at opendoorcoaching.com.au. And you have to stay on the line for the whole time. So you've got to clock the 30 minutes. So no popping off the line early. We have to have you on the line for 30 minutes in order to send that to you. So first, let's talk about Dilbert. I just love this Dilbert cartoon. He says, everyone says your new circuit design is worse than the old one. That's the pointy head boss. Dilbert says, by everyone, do you mean you heard it from one person who doesn't like me and isn't familiar with the design? And then the pointy head boss responds back, I also spoke to the people who heard it from that one person. So I just put this up because I just love a Dilbert cartoon, as you know, but also because, you know, our communication and our ability to communicate as coaches, but also as leaders and managers in the workplace, we know it's so important. We hear these funny conversations in the corridors of our workplaces. We know it's important. And we also know that we need to continue to develop our skills and develop the skills of people around us when it comes to conversations. So that's what we're doing today. Bit of a laugh. So I want to introduce you to the 5 levels of conversations, and there's a lot of different references for these. What we did at Open Door is we took the 5 levels, turned it into a coaching model, and what we want to use this for now is to generate great coaching questions that we can ask at each of the 5 levels. So what I want to do is introduce you to the 5 levels, and then we'll have a little bit of fun actually generating questions together. And we'll do that with a little tool called Ideas Board. And I've dropped that link into the chat box so we can get that going. Let me quickly introduce you to the 5 levels, and then we can have a little bit of fun together. So the first level is the surface level of conversation. This is a basic level of conversation. You know, it's the kind of warm up, stock standard kind of questions we might ask as a coach. And they're standard conversations we might have in the workplace, like how's the weather going out there? How are you doing today? You know, those kind of questions, kind of basic questions where you get back basic responses. And we know as coaches that this surface level is often used to initiate the conversation, the polite conversations. You know, we'll do that in our coaching conversations. How did you go? How have you been since last time I saw you? What have you been working on? You know, those kind of questions. So in our conversations that we hear in the workplace and in our coaching conversations, level 1 surface conversations, we see that all the time. What we are trying to do as coaches and to have better conversations and to influence better conversations in the workplace is actually help people step up the level. So step up the level from surface level conversations to the second level, which is the level of facts. Now, you will hear this level quite a lot in the workplace as well. It's basically where facts and details are shared, a message is delivered. So quite often you'll hear managers in the workplace, they kind of work at the surface level or they might work at the facts level, you know, just basically sharing data, if you will. It's questions like how many people were involved, what's the update on that. You're basically stating the facts. How much does it cost? You know, these kind of things. And our conversations in meetings, I find, actually are a lot about just sharing the surface level just to get us going. But then meetings are often a massive download in facts. Basically a download in the situation and what's happening now. So it links through to the grow model that are in reality. So we do find a lot of managers and people we work with in the workplace are kind of working at the surface level or the facts level. Again, what we want to do is to move them in our conversations to the next level, which level 3 is the thinking level. Now, this is an important level because whilst I see a lot of managers wanting to know what their teams are thinking, they actually have to ask the questions rather than jump in and solve that problem. You know that through our certificate 4 in workplace and business coaching, we're talking about that on day 1, you know, moving away from jumping in, solving the problems, expressing what I think, and really switching to asking people their opinions and what their thinking is. So anything that we're doing here where we're encouraging people to state their thinking, to offer an opinion, to express a judgment, to express an attitude or a recommendation fits into this level. We see managers in everyday coaching, in everyday conversations. They can do a lot more in this area around building conversations which really engage people's thinking. So how do you think the group responded? What's your thinking of this? Take me through your decision making. How do you think this is going? What's your recommendation? So we can take our conversations, and particularly our coaching conversations when we're coaching others, to another level if we're asking these really great questions around this level. And of course, you're going to get a lot more facts, aren't you? So you open up what people are thinking, but you also get a lot more data in terms of the facts. Level 4, the feeling, it's about now moving into building trust and rapport, that trust and rapport that's needed so a person feels sufficiently comfortable in actually sharing something that might be from the heart or sharing their feelings. It's They might be sharing an impact or a challenge. They might be sharing emotions. And this is an area of vulnerability where a lot of people in the workplace, they don't share their feelings. They just stick to level 3, cut it off at the thinking level. But what we're really trying to engage here is, well, what are those emotions that people are experiencing? What are they doing with that emotion? How is that actually showing up in their behaviors? Are those behaviors supporting them? Are they holding them back? So there's a lot of coaching we can do. And you will know this. I know there's so many great coaches on the line. You will know this is the level that we actually often dig into. In everyday conversations in the workplace, what we do find though is that people cut off at level 2 or level 3, the facts and the thinking level. So we can encourage managers and people around us to actually dig into this level. And I know with COVID, I think the big thing that we have seen is people actually being more willing to check in at this level about people's mental health, how they're going with working from home, how they're going with that transition back into the workplace as well. And finally, just to give you an overview, and then, as I said, we'll generate these questions. And I'm really keen to hear your comments and your thoughts and questions we can generate. The level that we're aiming for also in our coaching and at times in our actual conversations in the workplace is level 5, where we're having more of an inner conversation. This is a much more personal level where a person might share their values, their lessons. It's about being more vulnerable, about being more authentic. It's about who I am as a person, what I stand for as a leader. Career conversations might fit into this. More deeper conversations will fit into this. They're not conversations we're going to have every single day, but in coaching, it's a level that we can actually move our clients into to make more of a difference in terms of what they're thinking about, what they're feeling, what they're expressing, how they're showing up as a leader. So, as I said, everyday conversations, we're more likely to be at level 1, level 2, level 3, so surface, facts, thinking or feeling levels. What we're interested in is how can we move in and out of those levels? So how can we encourage conversations that are not just at the surface level, really? And part of our role as coaches is to recognize what level is this conversation at? So which level are we operating at? And how can we as coaches potentially move it to a different level if we think that actually might serve the people we're working with? How can we as coaches coach the managers and our teams to move to the different levels if we think that might be of benefit? So please feel free to share your facts, thinking, feeling, or inner thoughts about what I've shared so far. Very keen to hear. What your thoughts are, or what you're feeling about the model, and also, have a think about with me about how you might be applying this in the workplace as well. So how can we draw attention to the different levels of conversation in the workplace? So if you, as I should have mentioned, if you'd like to interact, feel free to pop a message into the chat box there and I can pick up your comments as we go. Now I am going to just stop sharing my screen just for a moment, and I'm going to do a new share, which is actually our ideas board. And if you see, hopefully you can make sure that that's actually sharing. There it is there. So if you can actually click on the link now, what we're going to do together is actually generate some of these questions. So thanks, CJ says it's a useful framework. Thank you. What we're going to do now is generate some questions. So it's all very well to talk about the 5 levels of conversation or the 5 levels of coaching conversations, but what questions can we actually ask at each of these different levels? Now, all you have to do is click on that link, click on the little plus button, and you can simply type a question in there. So I'll do one here. So 7th level question, how are you today? And hopefully when I type this in, it'll come up on your screen, and feel free to jump in and type in. So you can add your questions by clicking on the little links, and you can also vote. So if you want to vote, here they come. Excellent. If you want to vote, all you do is go, oh, I like that one. You just click on it and you just give it the thumbs up, and then you can vote on it as well if you like that question. So the link, Sue, it's in the chat box. I'm just going to drop it in again so you can actually get it there. It's just in the chat box. If you click on it, it should just come up. It should just open up in your Google. There you go. So surface level facts type questions are what questions like how much does it cost, or what's the quote, or things like that. Yeah, that's it. Great. Excellent. How was the coffee this morning? That's really good. Yeah, so let's just have a play. Just generate any questions. There's no wrong or right questions. It's just a good opportunity for us to have a bit of a play with the idea boards. Thinking. So what's your recommendation? This is great. I'll be able to send this to everyone as well. So a feeling question is kind of like, what's your gut telling you? Inner question, I like that one. What makes this really important to you? That's a great question. I'm going to vote on that one. I really like that one. That's the way. Inner question, so what makes this really important to you? How important is this to you? How does that reflect your leadership? Anything like that? That's the way. So yeah, surface level questions. Yeah, have a go. Just pop in any that you're thinking there. How was the morning commute this morning? How was coffee this morning? What are you doing on the weekend? Thinking questions. What options have you considered? How do you like this design? What's your recommendation? Where is your thinking? This is cool. Do you like it? I love this little tool. I've been using it recently. It's so great just to get people's interaction and to have people generate, as many questions as they like. Yeah. Feeling. What felt like a highlight for you? That's a really good question as well. Yeah. What's your gut telling you? How did that experience make you feel? Great questions. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Keep going. So nice inner questions coming out here too. So what are you personally finding challenging in this? Yeah. So that's a great question. And it helps people dig a bit deeper into it. So what is challenging for you? Yeah. Great questions. Yeah. So let me jump over to how do you feel the group is responding? So a question around, what's the level of engagement is a good question too, or how engaged do you feel the group is another one as well. How are you feeling about XYZ? That's a great question. Yeah. Someone's added the miracle question. Well done. We include the miracle question in our certificate for workplace and business coaching. So inner question. So if you could solve this problem with a magic wand, what would a solution look like? Yeah, that's a terrific question. Well done. Yeah, so magic wand, so using the magic wand, using the blank space, the green space, anything like that's really good as well. Facts. Can you give me an update on the project? Yeah, so what's the update on the project? Did you get the email? Great facts kind of question as well. Yeah, yes, no kind of things. Where's the quote? What's the situation? So any kind of, what's the situation on XYZ? Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. Keep going. We've got another few minutes. Just generate any questions. What progress have you made with X? Yeah. So any facts level questions are really gathering the data. So we're in this level where we're gathering the data, we're gathering reality. So even our what's our reality question. So what's happening now? What's reality? Yeah. I like in thinking, think of our depth questions out of the certificate for workplace and business coaching. So what's, how do you evaluate that? Yeah, they're coming through. What assumptions are you making? Great question. So that's a very good question around thinking. Yeah, what are you going to commit to moving forward? Excellent. Yeah, so and so if you ask that question, then on a scale under feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident, or you can insert any other word, etc. How confident do you feel? Yeah, or I put a capital on confident there because you can swap in any word there as well. Yeah, excellent. What are you going to commit to moving forward? Yeah, this is terrific as well. Surface level questions actually have been things like, oh, how you going with, an insert, wearing masks, uh, how's working from home going? So the interesting thing is, like with COVID, surface level questions have been, how's it going working from home? But so that's a kind of surface level question. But then if we're going to move into facts or thinking, facts is what resources do you have? What does your work environment look like? So we're capturing those facts. Um, if we're moving into thinking, it's about what do you think about working from home? How's it working for you? That kind of thing. Or not? Yeah. What resources do you have? What's happening with? Yes, all of those kind of questions. Feeling is really getting into, so how are you feeling about working from home? What impact is it having on you? Those kind of questions. That's the way. Great. Oh, there's some other great inner questions coming through there. I'm just scrolling down as well. What would you do differently next time to improve? That is a really great question. Thank you. What possibilities does that create for you? What a great question. What have you learned through COVID about yourself as a leader? What a fantastic lesson. Fantastic questions. Yeah. The question we asked this morning when I was doing coaching is, what lessons are we going to take from this? What lessons can you take from this situation? Yeah, great question. So, see, what I love about what we're doing, we're all great coaches on the line. See how we're generating. There's a big difference between how are you today, what are you doing on the weekend, and then there's a big difference in the levels, the types of questions you're asking, and what's possible, like what information and what's possible when you can gather that as well. Yeah, terrific. I feel like I need to finish this one here, so we need another feeling question. What's felt like a highlight for you? That's really great. How did you make that experience? How did that experience make you feel? We need to just add another question in here. We need to update this, otherwise it's going to sit there like a what? um, what what was the best thing about that? What was a highlight? That's a good question as well. Yeah. How do you feel about that? What was the highlight? Terrific. Yeah. Great. Well, thanks for sharing, everyone. And you can continue to add to this board. A little thing I'll show you here, you can actually export this. So if you export as PDF, look what happens. Hopefully you can see my screen. You get the questions, you get the surface levels, and then look, we've got all the questions underneath that as well. So if you want me to send you a link, just, I don't know, drop a message to me somehow. and I can send you the links as well. So yeah, you actually you can see people have voted too. So if you want people to vote on what's the best question, they can actually do that as well. So there you go. A great way of interacting when we're on Zoom, a great way of getting people interacting with the work that you're doing as well, and a great way of actually generating questions together. So let me know if there's any other thoughts or comments you have. You can continue to generate questions if you like. Yeah, Jody, I've got your email. I can send you a link. No worries. I'll download this PDF. I'm not exactly sure how to put it into the chat box. Yeah, that's the way. Yes, Eleanor, this the original concept is not open doors. There's different people that have used the 5 levels of conversation. It's actually hard to get the original reference. One of the references I give in our blog is to Judith Glacier from Conversation Intelligence. She talks not about the 5 levels, but she talks about 3 levels, which are very similar. So it's a bit tricky. Oh, that's a good idea, CJ. I could save it into Dropbox and share the Dropbox link. Let me do that right now. Look how easy this, actually, I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll do this. So I'm still here, but I'll just quickly, I'll just export that straight away. Thank you. What a great idea. Download. Here we go. Pop it in there. Thank you. See, with this all live, if anyone thought that we weren't doing this live, just hold on a second. I'll just pop it in there. That's the way. And quickly, thanks, CJ. I'll quickly share that Dropbox link with you as well. So if you're listening to this live, later, you'll be able to get the information. The links are in the chat as well. So I think that does download for you. So let me just drop this in for you. Questions, can you ask PDF? Copy the Dropbox link. Okie dokie, here it comes. So let me just, how many windows have I got open now, honestly? Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll just bear with me for 1 second. I've got so many windows open here. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, welcome, Sue. I'm so glad you've enjoyed this. Here we go. Here comes the Dropbox link. I think, yep, it is too. There you go. So download that Dropbox link. You're more than welcome. And what a great set of questions we've actually generated together. It's really fantastic. You can actually reuse this link as well, so you can keep adding questions in there as well. Hopefully you can see the screen. Oh, there you go. Thanks for the idea. Thanks for the idea there, CJ. Yeah, so there you go. I'm so glad if you've joined us for the Coaching Cafe for the first time, welcome. You know, we do come together every Friday, so you're more than welcome to join us. There is absolutely no cost. And the 5 levels of coaching conversation does feature in our certificate for workplace and business coaching program. So you can check that out if you like. And Gillian, you're so welcome. We like to share. I was just so excited when I found this tool. I'm like, we have got to do that at our next at our next Coaching Cafe. So there you go. So there's a quick summary for you of the 5 levels. I'll just pop that back up on the screen so you have that there. Hopefully, let me just make sure that PowerPoint's sharing properly. Yeah, there's a summary of the 5 levels. As I mentioned, as coaches, we are looking to try to move our clients past level 1, level 2, you know, get into that level 3, level 4, level 5 conversations. And we do that naturally as coaches. What we're also aiming for in the workplace is to highlight the awareness of the 5 levels, highlight and track where we are at with those 5 levels. And of course, encourage the people around us to move between the levels as well. We do find that that people, you know, kind of stay on that kind of level 1, level 2. So we want to see if we can move them to 3, 4, and even 5, where the deeper interaction, the deeper rapport. And of course, that's where we really find the aha moments as well. So yeah, it was terrific to have you join us to brainstorm and to see the ideas board come up was really, really cool. We include the 5 levels of conversation in our Leader as Coach program, which is an ICF CCEU program. And don't forget, if you're looking for your professional development for yourself or others, we do have the mental first aid mental health first aid program running. I think they're almost fully booked for this year, but we will be running them into the new year. So if you would like your managers, people around you, your team members to be coaching, think about the Leader as Coach program. For your own development, you can think about mental health first aid as well. And of course, we've got the full government accredited coaching programs as well. And yes, Eleanor, I'm delighted that you're jumping into our mental health first aid as well. Thanks, Alex. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us, and looking forward to sharing more ideas and tools with you as we go along. So enjoy your 5 levels of conversations. Enjoy playing with ideas board if you like as well. It's always great to, as you say, to have that collective sharing as the alumni as well. I really appreciate that. Excellent. I always say you're welcome. Nicole says thank you for your generosity. You're very, very welcome. Yeah, it's a great framework to use. Actually, you can just attribute, if you're using Open Doors model, just attribute the model and get those conversations going. More than happy with that. Yeah. Fantastic. As always, I say happy Friday to you if you're listening to this live. And as always, I really hope you've enjoyed the session, and for sure, enjoy your coaching, enjoy stepping up and through and around those levels of conversation as we go along. So I will say goodbye for now, and I look forward to catching up with you at our next Coaching Cafe.